What's up, guys? We are back with another episode. This time we've got a nice little touching story to go with this one. About 4 days ago, my mom comes over for dinner and she's like, "Hey, I have to talk to you real quick. Your dad has been talking about wanting a 66 Chevy C10 for years. Did you say there was an RC car one?" I said, "Yes, there is." So I showed it to her. She said, "Can he race that in the rookie class indoor on the carpet?" I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "I want to buy it for him." So we ordered it that day and it came in today. This thing is cool. So I present to you the Kyosho Fazer Mk2 FZ02L chassis, just like the Mad Van, but this time with quite a bit of suspension geometry difference. In the Mk2 C10 fleet side pickup. Although this is a four-wheel drive touring car chassis, so technically it's a K10, but we'll let that slide in this really cool light green. Let's get out of the box, shall we? Oh, look at that scale realism. Isn't that amazing? Straight out of the box, we have mags with actual spinners. We've got these nice, you actually have to unspin and snap this out of the middle to get to the screw that holds the wheel on. They are treaded VTA style tires that are actually fairly soft. I'm actually surprised at that. They do have raised Kyosho tires, so if you take a white paint pen or a silver Sharpie, you can actually probably make that look like a raised white letter. Suspension actually feels incredible right out of the box, surprisingly. This thing is amazing. It has an actual hard plastic license plate that says 1966 right on it. It has hard plastic chrome bumper, light bezels. Not only are these really awesome scale light bezels, they are actual light bezels. You can put LEDs in here and actually have little dot tail lights. Backup lights are not, just the brake lights. On the front, you have the hard plastic top, which can unscrew and come off so you can have the visor or no visor. It does have the chrome hard plastic mirrors, chrome hard plastic windshield wipers, chrome hard plastic front bumper grille, and headlight bezels, which are functional headlight bezels. You can put a light kit in this and have functional headlights and taillights. It is an amazingly scale truck. Also, look at this side. There's even a hard plastic gas cap. That nice chrome hard plastic. This is basically a rolling model. This is not really an RC car. This is a rolling model. So, there is one very important thing I do have to say about this truck. I'm not going to let him drive this truck in rookie class. You might say, why not? Well, Kyosho is very proud of this truck. The clear body was just released. You can get it now for $65 to pre-order it. The painted body, this painted body right here with everything already installed, $110. Half the cost of the car. $110. Are you kidding me? It's epically awesome, but is it $110 worth? I'm hard pressed considering the fact that most of your VTA and touring car bodies are $30 to $40 at most, and this is $110. Painted touring car bodies are $60, and this is $110 just because it has some plastic parts on it. It's amazing. It looks like let me set this down and move you down so you can see. Look at this thing. It looks like a real truck. It has everything you need for it to look like a scale real truck, aside from open seams on the panels. That's it. Otherwise, you can't get much more scale. Just look at this. Let me see if I can get this to go to macro mode. Just look at that. That has an actual rotor in there with an actual brake caliper, even though you can barely see it. How much more scale can you be without being an actual model? That is just what's nuts about this. This thing is incredible. And even if we go to the back here, you can see. Look at the back. Just absolutely awesome. Even though it is a flat bed, I mean, you have to have it mounted to a shock tower somewhere. But even then, you could, you know, take some leather and glue some leather down in here and make it look like a tonneau cover. That'd be actually pretty epic. That's probably what I'm going to suggest that he do. Because this is going to be a shelf queen body. This is not a body to race. Here's the thing. If we can't get him a body by this weekend, my shelf queen body right there, he's going to race that because that's a $30 body. I don't care if I have to get another $30 body. I'm not letting him run a $110 body on the track. I seen what happened to this one after one practice day. He's not running this truck on the track with that body. Tires, great. The tires are going to be fantastic. Yeah, I mean, the custom rims are pretty epic, and it would suck to mess those up, but I think that they're inset enough that the spinners are going to be okay. But that body, I don't think you're even supposed to allowed to run hard plastic parts on the track anyway, but that body is just too great to risk damaging. That being said, let's look at what else comes in the box, shall we? You get your awesome synchro transmitter, which, like I've said in the Mad Van video, has the tilt wheel. Nice rubber grip on the back. Super nice feeling transmitter. This one, this foam is a little bit softer than what came on the Mad Van one, so I'm not sure if maybe they changed up, if they went to a softer foam, but I know he'll probably like that better because it's a little more grippy and he's got more calluses than I do. I think he's going to like this. It's a much nicer feeling transmitter than some of the other ones that are out there. It has a pretty good throttle spring on it and brake spring, so it actually has some pretty good feeling to it. Spring in the wheel is always a little bit loose, but you have all your endpoint and throttle endpoint adjustments that you need. And so that's pretty nice. You can adjust steering trim and dual rate, which you can't do on very much stuff. So that's nice that they have that ability. I mean, it's a synchro transmitter that comes with ready to run Kyosho stuff. They're awesome. This thing is like what, $250, something like that. This is a really nice truck for the money, but I will admit that right now. Comes with the manual, but not only does it come with the manual, but it comes with this, which is optional parts kit. I wish the Mad Van came with this because this is awesome. First off, it tells you how to get these crazy spinner wheels apart because looking at them, I couldn't figure it out. So I'm glad that it tells you how to get these off. But the other thing is it literally tells you all of the hop-up parts you can get for it, from the carbon fiber front brace, the CVDs, the custom touring car threaded shocks. You can get the carbon fiber front stay, and then the front hubs, which from what I've read, don't do the front hubs. If you get one of these, leave the front hubs plastic. Do the rear hubs aluminum, which here's the rear hub. Aluminum, rear shock stay, springs. The front actual shocks are the same for the front and rear, so the same length. So then they give you the springs, the motor mount, and the sway link kit as well. So you can get literally everything to make this a fairly competitive touring car. Like next year, after he's done running this year in rookie, if he wants to, he can drop like $200 on this stuff, put it in here, throw the 21.5 spec system in here, and he'd have a pretty decent touring car. I mean, I'm not going to say it's going to be an X4 or a Schumacher or a Mugen MTC2 or 3, or, you know, by next year we'll have the associated TC8, I'm assuming, but it is going to be a very formidable truck or car or whatever body he puts on there. Knowing that you may be putting a different body on here to run indoor, they do give you +5 offset wheel hexes. So these add 5 additional millimeters to width. So if you're running in that VTA class with this, you can literally just move those wheels out 5 millimeters on each side for a total of 10 millimeter track width adjustment. So where you're going from the 190 that this is to the 200 millimeter that the VTA is. Or if you're not running VTA, rookie class, whatever the case may be, if you're running any 200 millimeter body, such as that one or that one, this will pop it up to 200 millimeter width. Comes with a really nice Kyosho turnbuckle wrench, which the Mad Van also came with. Has your typical cheap L wrenches that nobody uses. Comes with all kinds of shock clips and extra pistons and a couple extra screws, and then your blind plug and switch as well. So it is actually a really nice thing that Kyosho gives you all this, because their stuff is kind of expensive. It's also not. I've heard some people are like, well, you can get a red cap for cheaper and it's bet you get brushless. If you ever ran a red cat brushless, red cat brushless, for 250 bucks, this has the nice Kyosho brush speed controller and 14 turn 550 can motor. So it's almost the 12 turn that like the Traxxas is. I actually personally think that the 14 turn that's in this has a little more punch than the 12 turn Titan does. It may not be true, but it feels like it does. I just threw a battery in this to make sure everything worked out of the box so that, you know, if anything happened, we can be like, amen. But I wanted to make sure of that. This thing is awesome. It even, look at this. To make sure that you don't get your nice $110 body scratched up, they even ship it with donuts on the shock tower to prevent the pins from scratching the body. They take care of you. $249, and they care enough about it to actually take care of the customer to put those on there. I'm impressed, honestly. A lot of people rag on Kyosho because they're can be a little hard to get parts for if you don't want to order from A-Main or buy 2 kits to have two of everything. We'll go ahead and take the body off there. As you can tell, it is quite thick. I mean, it is a very thick body. But here's the actual chassis itself. As you can see, it's very similar. The middle section right here is basically identical to the Mad Van. This does not have steel in here. These are plastic dog bones. I wish it had steel, since I found out that the Mad Van has steel and I didn't realize it did. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. But being as this is going to be on a carpet track and not bashed, I don't think you're going to have any problems with the plastic in here. Same with the center shaft. Yeah, you can always upgrade it to the CVDs and the aluminum center shaft. Absolutely. Especially the aluminum center shaft. It's $8.99. Do it. It's the simplest, easiest upgrade. Maybe not necessarily the easiest upgrade. It's the cheapest upgrade to get that makes a physical difference to the durability of the car. Because this is something that will end up breaking. Putting that in there eliminates that possibility to where then only has your outdrive cups, which are really thick. They're a good 4 millimeters thick, so they're not really going to break like that. Same with these dog bones. Take a look at these dog bones. They may be plastic, but they're meats. Those are solid. They're not hollow. Those are solid. And they are massive. I mean, those are easily 6 millimeters in diameter. So you don't really have any issues there. These do have the normal Kyosho clip style shock with the plastic body, aluminum cap, bladder inside. They're really nice. They actually feel like they have a pretty good fluid weight in them. I actually was surprised. I thought I was going to have to rebuild the shocks, and there's some air in them. I might still do it just so he has a good handling car out there. The gear diffs feel nice on the front and back. The front is really a pretty tight diff, and the back's pretty loose, which from what I've read on these is what you want on the track because they tend not to want to rotate as much. It sounds like there's a train outside, but there's no train anywhere near here. My own paranoia, I guess. It's just the neighbor got his tractor out and he's getting it ready with the plow on it, it looks like. So getting ready for winter. Nothing really major to worry about. As I was saying, front end here, you can see these giant knuckles on here. Maybe thinking, what are those for? What are those? What are those? You know, that old meme. They're steering limiters so that you don't lock up your steering. It's actually pretty nice that they have that on there because there's no other real way to put a steering limiter on here. So they literally built it into the control arm. Anyway, does have a KS202W servo. It is a waterproof servo. Receiver, motor, and ESC are all waterproof. So if you wanted to take this out and sling up some rooster tails off of the VTA tires and make it look extra scale, you could do so. You can see here on the bottom, it's just normal plastic tub chassis. Nothing real major, I mean, at all, really. It has a pretty good amount of kick to it. Not sure what kind of top end it has, but I got loads of pinion gears in here, so we can get him out to the track and get him set up with loads of pinion gears. No issues there. You can kind of see in the wheel there that caliper is a nice red anodized caliper. I will have driving footage here because we are racing on Saturday, so by the time you see this video, he'll already have it, and we'll be racing on Saturday. Like I said, it will not have the truck body. I will let you know what we're running on it, though, before we cut to the driving footage so you know what car you're looking for. I'm going to try to actually get driving footage of myself as well. I got this goofy thing because it was $9, but I can actually mount my phone onto here and look like a dingus out driving but I can get you some footage, and that's what matters, right? There we go. Just roll that beautiful race footage. I'm gonna look like this on the driver's stand in case you're wondering. It's okay to laugh. I've already laughed at myself a few times just looking at how it sets on my head. It is definitely much larger than a GoPro. Kirk out.